Hi, we're going to be continuing our project that we started last week, and I worked a bit more on my background, and as you can see, I've colored in my triangles, I've thickened some of my lines, I've added a little bit more detail, I've colored in some of the background, and I'm pretty happy with the way it turned out. So now when you're finished with your background, you can put that aside, and we're going to be drawing. You can draw a young African lady or a gentleman here that you see. And as you can see, the dress is slightly different on this young boy than it is the girl. This student did this one where she did a different costume, which is fine. I'll just have that around so you can see this and get some information. So if you're not doing a girl, you can simply draw a boy, and he has a slightly different outfit on. He's wearing the kufi, which is the brimless hat, and she has the gele headdress, and you can see it's very colorful. So for the background that I did, I left it black and white, and this is my drawing of the young African girl, and you should be able to see the young African boy as I'm working on this one. I'll just move this over a little bit for you to see. Okay, and so you'll need the same size paper that you started the drawing last week, and that would be 7 by 10. We're going to do another 7 by 10 drawing of the young African girl, and there are so many different styles that you can do the costumes, but you can see a lot of geometric patterns, organic shapes, very, very colorful. And that's my goal for this project, is after we've drawn our young person, then the costume will be very, very colorful with lots of different patterns. So I'm going to move this to the side. So what you're going to need for this project is a glue stick, eraser, pencil, black Sharpie, and select the colors that you're going to be using. We're using markers, but if you don't have the colors you want in markers, you can use color pencil, even crayon would do. So choose your colors, and also test the colors on a scratch piece of paper, and you're going to need scissors because we're going to be cutting out our young African person and mounting it on the background that we did last week. So with your pencil, I suggest you drawing it lightly in pencil, and then we'll go over it in marker. So from the center, you basically want it in the center of your paper, up a little bit so that you have some room for the headdress. And basically you're just gonna do a curved line. Now that could be for either boy or girl. And then after you've done that, you're gonna take a line coming down and curve for the chin, go on the other side. You can make this kind of cheeky. Or you could just not have the cheeks full and just simply draw down and then come down at an angle. Very simple. And so for the eyes, we're gonna kind of make a curve for the top of the eye, curve for the bottom, and this would be for the boy as well. And as you can see in this sample, the boy has his eyes shut, so you would just do 2 curved lines for the eyes if you wanted them shut. And then the nose, the bridge of the nose starts from just underneath the kufi, the hat that he's wearing. And if you wanted the mouth to be slightly different, like in an O expression, you could just do 2 circles a smaller circle within a circle. So that would be another idea that you could do for your drawing. So you could either have a boy or a girl. And you're going to do the same on the other side for the other eye. And draw a circle for the eye itself. And then we're just going to draw the nose, which is curved out, start curve under and over. This is one way of drawing the nose. And you can also add just some nostrils right above those curved lines. And now you could do the mouth closed and the eyes closed for the girl as well. Those are just different options that you have. So you can look at that sample. And we're going to just draw the ear underneath the gele, and this one is, you can see more of the ear on this side. So the gele is like a scarf that kind of wraps around, and we can take it as high as you'd like. And then just do a soft curve at the top, and then come down and take it down just by the ear. So you can kind of section this off where it's kind of wrapped around the head. So I would make a curve from the top, and I would kind of make a band. Oh, I have my friend back, sorry. And take that down to the band, and then just go right up to the other side. So you're breaking the space up to show the scarf that's wrapped around the top of the head. Okay, and then we're going to draw the neck. You're going to make a curve just on each side of the chin. And then we're going to kind of curve under and over for the top of the shoulder. So we have a scarf that's draped over the shoulder. So we want to kind of imagine with your pencil where the other shoulder would be, and then you're going to kind of make the curve and then take that down for the elbow. So you want to kind of make that mark very, very lightly, because we are going to be draping the scarf over the shoulder for the dashiki, which is a wrap that wraps around the body. So we're going to make a soft curved line that comes down at an angle, and we're going to do the top of the shoulder, and you can see those two lines connect. Now we're going to make a curved line for the neckline, and you can do a double line for kind of a border around the neckline. So we're going to do the other arm kind of coming out from where this top of the shoulder would be. We have to kind of imagine that. And then we're going to take this and curve it right to the top of the arm. Okay, so go right to where you've made that curve to the top of the arm. You're going to go up just a tiny bit and make a slight curve and take that down, curve under. Okay, and then we'll finish the other arm. Just going to do the shoulder. And if you wanted to add like a gold bangle, you could do so. You could add like a bangle going around the wrist. You don't have to. And then just finish the arm off. And then kind of curve that in, and then you could do a double line. So it's it kind of wraps around on each side of the wrist, and then we'll do the hand. Okay. All right, so let's finish the other arm. And we don't see all of it because remember we've got this wrap around the top of her shoulder. So then we're going to finish off the dress. You're going to go right where the top, close to the top of the arm, and take your line and go past where the wrist would be on the other arm, and just take that down close to the bottom of your paper. Go right to the small finger and then take that and finish and complete the dashiki. And then we're going to, as this drapes over the shoulder, we'll just show the scarf kind of draping on the side of the body. So we're going to kind of break this space up. We're going to draw some lines. As you can see, go under the scarf and take that down. And these are like folds in the costume. And then we're just going to finish this off with the foot kind of facing us with the toes. And the other foot kind of facing the other side. Okay, there. Now, once you're done with this part of your drawing, then I want you to start thinking about some patterns that you can create. I want you to hold your paper down with one hand and then erase any pencil lines that you see. Clean that up a little bit. And then you're going to choose a color for the skin. So if you have color pencils that are the right color, it could be any shade of brown. I suggest you test the color on a test sheet of paper before you actually use it. That's always a good idea because you may not like it once it's out of the marker, or if you're using pencil or skin color crayons. Always a good thing to test before you put it on paper. Okay, so I've tested this one, which I like very much. And then I'm just going to, as you can see, it looks really different from the color that's on the marker as opposed to when it's actually on the paper. So I'm glad I tested it first. And don't forget to do the ears. You can even go over the eyebrows since you used a Sharpie, which is permanent. And you can go right over the nose. You can go over the lips as well and add like a color pencil over the lips to add some more appropriate lip color. There, okay. So what you could do is then look at some colored pencils that you have, and then just add a tiny bit of color on top of the marker for the skin. And you could add a tiny bit for the cheeks. You could do this for a boy or a girl if you've decided to do either one. Okay, and let's continue on with the skin color. Don't forget the neck. And the arms. Now you can add as many bracelets on the wrist as you'd like. You could also use a metallic marker to give it some shine. You could add gold hoops to her ears and use the metallic marker or pencil, which is fine, and then do the other arm. Take your time. And the feet. Okay, now that that's done, the fun part is actually creating some patterns. Now, you could use some of the patterns that you see in this example for the costume. You could just make it as colorful as you'd like. You can kind of break up the space in the costume. Add another section to the scarf, and then really just have a lot of fun exploring the different colors. Now, one thing I do recommend is lightly drawing your patterns first in pencil and then tracing it with a marker so the patterns pop. And let me kind of create some patterns on here for you so you can get some ideas. So whatever pattern you're doing, you want to be able to touch the top and bottom section that it's in. And you can repeat some of this pattern in the rest of the costume. And really just have a lot of fun with color. Some of the patterns are just so beautiful. I'm purposely leaving a little bit of white in this pattern. And you can have the same colorations can pick maybe 5 or 6 different colors and just continue those colors throughout the rest of this costume that she has on. And, give it some thought as to what you want to add. Of course, you can still use your black marker to create some of your shapes. And then just repeat your patterns that you've started. In some areas will be overlap, so you won't be able to get the whole pattern in. And that's okay. It will get cut off because it's being overlapped. I don't recommend doing it in marker first, because if there's a shape you don't like, you're kind of stuck with it. So do this in pencil first, and then you can trace it with your marker. Now, a lot of the patterns on these beautifully colored costumes are hand done. Okay, and then you can start coloring in with colors that you like. And I recommend testing it and then really just enjoying doing the patterns and making it really colorful and beautiful. coloring with your marker, don't press so hard. Be gentle with your markers. You don't want to flatten the tip. You want them to last you. Okay, and then continue on. As you can see, I'm being very careful to color around the blue that I just added to the diamond. I don't want it to smudge. forget the rest of the scarf. And I'm really liking how it's coming out. Of course, you don't have to choose the same colors that I'm using. You can choose whatever colors you'd like. And again, don't forget to do the rest of the scarf. And then the last thing you'll be doing is cutting out your young person. And just make sure that when you do cut it out, that there aren't any white edges from your piece. And just finish coloring that part in. I'm not going to color it to show you. I think you know what to do. And then we'll just add a tiny bit. Leave a little bit of white showing in the eye. Just like a speck of white to show the reflection of light. Then I would find a slightly darker brown color pencil. Let me see, find a darker color brown to add a little bit of shadow to your person. So I'm just going to add a little bit of a shadow with a slightly darker brown. It has to be darker so you can see it underneath the chin to show the shadow, so it sticks out and gives it more dimension underneath the gele. You don't want it to look kind of stripy. You just want to gently shade that part in. And along the inside of the arm, on the side of the fingers, and on the inside of the other arm, and the top part of the shoulder. Okay, and that definitely just gives it a little bit more depth, and right where the costume is hanging over the feet, just right underneath the foot, or at the top part, and the heel on this foot. Okay, then I'm going to have you finish coloring this in the way I've colored, or whatever pattern you've done. Make sure that you cut it out carefully. Get some help if you need it for those hard to get places. And as you can see, I'm cutting right along the black outline so that I don't have any white edging sticking out. So it's nice and clean. Careful not to cut her ears off, or his ears. And as you can see, there's no white edging along the side, so I'm being very careful. And get some help for those hard to reach areas. Watch your fingers. And you may want to add some more color to some parts of your costume. I'll leave that up to you. I didn't do my bracelet yet. I can add some silver or gold to it if I want. cut any toes off. And the last part. Okay. Oops. All right, so then when you're done cutting out your small person, then what you're going to do is you are going to get a glue stick out and glue all the back of it. I suggest a glue stick. I think it works really well. And then you have a really nice drawing honoring the Black History Month. Okay, thanks so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye.